Hey everybody, hello, hello, hello. This is Dee from D is for Digital coming to you of the first of two daily master classes today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. The week is flying in. I don't know how busy you are. We've had a crazy couple of days in our Wheeler dealer group, all the dealers that are signing up for their fabulous commission. We've been inundated with questions. So that's been keeping me busy, and I'm delighted we have two new customer care people. Hey Jack! Two new customer care people who've just joined the Wheeler Dealer group to give me some well-needed backup. Shanika and Moesha are in the WhatsApp group and the Facebook group. So if you've already signed up to Wheeler Dealer and you're out there selling and getting your commission, it's so great to have you. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for your patience, because this is really a brand new initiative and we're rolling with the punches, as they say. And I think it's a brilliant way. I have to remind myself of this sometimes when you're doing something new. It doesn't always go as planned. Actually, it rarely does, especially when you're doing something that is a little bit out there, outside your comfort zone. You don't have all the experience. So these two things, and I think it's true of anything great, it all starts off a little bit rickety. This is why you can never launch anything that's perfect from the get-go, but it shouldn't stop you from striving ahead and doing the best that you can and believing in your idea and going for it. But I'm relieved. I have some customer care help. So any of you who are waiting for your questions to be answered, get into your WhatsApp group or the Facebook group. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments and I'll let you know and we'll share the link with you. But today, we're going to talk about free training, because who doesn't mind some free training? Again, I've been getting a lot of questions from people on particular topics that they would like me to cover in this masterclass. And thank you to you guys. If you've anything that you want me to cover on these masterclasses, I love the suggestions, because I can't be trying to invent all of these topics myself. You can make my job an awful lot easier. But the whole topic of virtual assistants has been really popular. I think this is because we did a couple of masterclasses around setting up an Upwork profile and the easiest and quickest ways to make money online. And one of those is to become a virtual assistant, which you can create an Upwork profile for, or on any of those marketplaces where you can sell your skills. Upwork.com, Fiverr.com, Freelancer.com, all of those are really good. And so many of you are thinking about becoming virtual assistants, but you're not sure if you have the skills to do it. And if you don't have the skills, you'd think you need the training. So I was getting a lot of questions around that, and I wanted to come on and just quickly cover the basic skills that you would need if you want to become a virtual assistant. And chances are you already have these in spades. And then I wanted to share some free sources of really great training. Now, whether you want to become a virtual assistant or not, but maybe you want training in other areas that would help you have your little side hustle, hang on for those, because I'm going to give you three great resources to use for all kinds of training. So where do we start? So skills, four key skills if you want to become a virtual assistant. The first one is word processing. And word processing is around data entry and typing skills. Not necessarily how fast you type. You don't need to be one of those speed typers, but it's about accuracy of your typing. So some of the common tasks people will pay you for as a virtual assistant is to capture details maybe from forms and put them in a different spreadsheet or a different system, or quality checking information, but writing emails, even writing reports and stuff. But data entry is very, very popular. And the thing is, it's super easy to do, really, really easy to do. All you need to be able to do is type, and type accurately, and be able to have an eye for detail. But word processing is the number one skill that you would need. And I think most of us in this day and age know how to type on a computer, or even put it in our phone, but presuming you're going to have to do this on a laptop or computer. And again, it's not about speed, it's about accuracy. Can you enter information from one source into another source? It could be from one system to another system, or a document to a spreadsheet, or a PowerPoint to something else. It's just word processing ability. That's the number one skill. The second skill you need is oral communication and writing. So oral communication, and on Websites like Fiverr and Upwork, they'll ask you to input the level of skill you have, particularly in a different language. So if you're not a native English speaker or you need a second language to work for the person that's hiring you, they'll ask you about your linguistic ability, and generally it's like beginner all the way up to fluent or native. But also being oral communication skill is about how you communicate like this. Can you speak clearly? Can you articulate a message clearly and simply? Can you make something complex quite simple? Because if you're going to be hired as a virtual assistant, you're going to be working for someone. And often working virtually, I think it makes communication easier because you can still see me, like you see me now and you can understand what I'm speaking about. But when it comes sometimes to dealing with someone who's comes from somewhere else or the culture or language is different, it means that oral communication skills need to be particularly good because maybe your boss is someone from a different country who speaks a different language. So your ability to express yourself, to explain yourself clearly, to slow down when you're talking can be very important. And again, we're all born with the ability to speak, so this isn't something that you necessarily need to learn, but it's certainly something that you would be conscious of. And then writing skills as part of that. So as well as data entry, writing is important because you may be asked to write emails, write social media posts, write reports or a presentation. Now I have a wonderful virtual assistant and her name is Vish and she's based in India. And I hired Vish very recently and on Upwork, and a lot of the work that I give for Vish is quite detailed. So she does a mixture of data entry for me. So looking at Excel spreadsheets of files, entering data in there, making sure the data is correct, because I'm not really good at attention to detail. So I need someone like Vish to check that what I'm doing is correct. So she does all that data entry stuff. But then she will write posts for my social media. She'll write emails to my customers. So the more skills that you have, really, the more work that your future virtual online boss can give you to do as a virtual assistant. So I'm lucky with Vish. She can do the data entry. She's a brilliant communicator and she can do all the typing. So that means I can just give more and more work over to Vish, which is great because then she makes more and more money. But I'm happy as well because I need to be able to rely on someone to be able to write clear messages to my customers, that there's no spelling mistakes, that, there's attention to detail. So writing skills, again, we all know how to write. We may not, our spelling, we may make mistakes on. I do that, but you do have grammar checks now for people for the Microsoft Word or whatever to check your spelling. But your ability to write clearly, simply, and with a certain level of quality is very important. And I suppose the more gifted you are at your writing, the more complex work that you can get, and you can charge a little bit more for that. So data entry, oral communication and writing, and then your computer skills. Now, obviously, these are very important because if you're working online, you're working via a computer anyway. But the most popular computer skills that you would need would be Microsoft Excel or the Google Worksheets, which is the same. If you can use one, you can use the other. Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, and Outlook for email management. I mean, those are the most common applications or programs that you would have to work with as a virtual assistant. Now, the list of systems that you could work with are exhaustive, and I'll give you an example. So for me, I have a lot of programs that I work with on online training, on designing courses. Now, when I hire Vish as my virtual assistant, she's not going to know those because they're very specific to my area. But that's okay because she knows Microsoft Excel and PowerPoint and everything else that I need. And then I can teach Vish how to use the other systems that I use. So don't be scared or worried if you don't know every system, because you won't. It's impossible to. And it's just the basic ones that you need to be able to use as a virtual assistant. And then if your future boss has other systems that they need you to use, they will show you how to use them. So you can be a virtual assistant and learn from your boss like you would if you were employed traditionally and you get sent on training. It can be the same as a virtual assistant. So I think a lot of people freak themselves out and go, I don't know all of the systems and I don't know them 100%. And what if I'm asked to do something that I don't know? you'll never be expected to know everything, okay? And you just need to know the basics. And I'm going to show you where you can learn and teach yourself for free. I think it's normal that when you're doing a new job, you want to be as well prepared as you can. And that's why I want to show you where you can learn so you can be as prepared as you can. But don't let it stop you. If you don't know it all, it's fine. Just say that in your profile. I like that someone would say, look, I'm really good at this, but I'm not so good at this, because then I know how I can help my assistant, because I want Vish to develop as well. So that's oral communication and writing, your computer skills. And last but not least, and I think probably the most important, is a little bit of project management and organizational skills. And I don't mean this from a technology perspective. I mean that you have a skill setting that you know how to keep things organized, that you know, maybe you're good at having your to-do lists and you can prioritize, and you're good at tracking as something is done. And it can be as simple as pen and paper, guys. I do my to-do list still on pen and paper because I love to be able to check things off, and it just works well for me. But you can do it in Excel as well. There are lots of programs out there, and a lot of free programs where you can track activities, because the chances are a lot of what you'll do as a virtual assistant is help keep your boss or your employer organized. And I know Vish does that a lot for me. So knowing what they have to complete that day, what's the most urgent task that they have to do, when does it have to be done by, what do they need, is it on time, is it not on time? And that's simple. Like, we all do this anyway in our own lives. I would argue you don't need super training on this, because if you've ever had to go to the supermarket and have a shopping list and know what to buy before you're there so you don't go crazy and come home with stuff that you didn't need, you're already organized. If you have children, you're a superstar multitaskers, and this should be easy for you, okay? So we have to organize ourselves in our own lives, but some of us have a really good ability around this. We're super structured. You probably know who you are. You like taking lists, you like detail, you like things, even your house very organized. You know when someone has moved your stuff. You are a natural organizer. And that is, I think it's a highly valuable skill as a virtual assistant. And certainly if you can go from virtual assistants into project management and managing more complicated activities. But just basic, are you organized? Can you keep things on time? Can you work to a deadline? And can you help someone else stay organized? And there are courses that will help you do that too. So those are the if you have those skills, you can start as a virtual assistant today. Yeah. Even if you don't have all of those skills at 100%, you won't, because you're a work in progress. I like to say you're a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. But those are the basic skills, and you could go to Upwork, Fiverr, or freelancer.com, set up your virtual assistant profile, and start making money today just with that. Because remember, it might take a little bit of time for you to find your job on Upwork, and in the meantime, you can be learning for free online. Now, I was hoping I could share screen with you today so I could show you these, but unfortunately it's not worth, technology has taken over. So I'm going to just read you out the names. So first, number one, LinkedIn Learning. So most of you will have heard of LinkedIn, and you might even have a LinkedIn profile. If you don't, you should have one. And we have had a masterclass on it to show you how to do that. But LinkedIn has a whole learning section. If you Google LinkedIn Learning, they have some of the best online courses you could dream of, and taught by amazing teachers. Generally, you have to pay, but at the moment, if you go on, they're giving 1 month free. So you can get access to all their courses now. And this is everything you would need to know as a virtual assistant, but there's technology courses, there's design courses, there's language courses, any possible course you could want on LinkedIn Learning. So you can sign up, knock yourself out for a month, and then if you don't want to pay, you just delete, unsubscribe, and you don't get charged, right? Which I think is a cool way. You might as well make use of everything that's free. And then if you decide you really, really like it and you want to invest it, you can keep investing in it. I think it might be about $20 a month after that, but you can certainly get a month free. 2, Skillshare, Skillshare, Skillshare. Google Skillshare, another fabulous website, very like LinkedIn, but they're giving 2 months free at the moment if you go on there. So if I was you, I would be clever. I would sign up for LinkedIn first, or maybe Skillshare, just in case they change that offer. sign up for Skillshare, do your 2 months, and then do the link, sign up for LinkedIn. So then now you have 3 months free training. You can learn a whole lot of stuff in 3 months. And you know what? It's a brilliant way, especially if you have free time on your hands and you're at home, to really update your profile. Go on, do a couple of courses. Some of these are not very long. And it's just I suppose it's, if you're going to make the most of a difficult situation now with COVID, now is a perfect time to access all the free resources that are available to you and come out of COVID with this fabulous CV and fabulous LinkedIn profile that has you ready to either look for work or get promoted or get another job, because there's so much out there that is, like, it's astonishing how much is for free. This even 10 years ago would cost a fortune. It would have been out of reach for most of us. So LinkedIn Learning, 1 month free at the moment. Skillshare.com, I think it's .com, yeah, Skillshare.com, but Google Skillshare, you'll find it, all one word. And the last one is Udemy. You may have heard of Udemy. That's Udemy, udemy.com. And Udemy is a marketplace for training courses, for online training courses. And Udemy is very interesting for two reasons. One, you could decide that you're great at organizational skills or you're great at project management and create a little course and put it up on Udemy. So, and lots of people, like Udemy has millions of people coming buying courses each day. The only little glitch on that is Udemy controls your pricing. So you might design a course and think it's worth $100, and Udemy could share or sell it at $1 if they wanted to. Now, the reason it works is because they could send it out to $1 to millions of people, and you might not have reach of millions of people on your own. So it's win-win. But they also have a huge amount of free courses on there too. Now, I've left it as the third option because I think if you're interested in high quality training right now, LinkedIn Learning and Skillshare are your best bet for you're not, I can guarantee you, you're not wasting your time doing these courses. I've done some of the Udemy courses and even some of the paid ones, and I've been a little bit, I didn't get as much as I wanted from it. But if you're patient and you're willing to search, because there's so much on there are millions of courses there, you might find something that is really of interest to you. So I think it's worth checking out. So LinkedIn Learning, Skillshare, remember 2 months free on Skillshare right now. So I will get on this straight after this call, and I make no money on any of these. I'm just saying these are the best ones that are out there right now. And then udemy.com would be my third option. So there's no reason to not feel like you're not growing as we're all stuck at home and in lockdown and worried about what's going on. I'm even making the most. I don't have an awful lot of free time at the moment, but I am making the most of the free time I have, doing some personal development and just sharpening up some of my skills, because the world is changing right now, and our jobs are changing, and how businesses are operating are changing. And I think you have a responsibility to yourself. If you want to make sure you're employable and you remain employable, you need to keep your skills sharp. And I think if I was to advise you on what courses you should be doing, I would be doing courses on anything that relates to online and digital. So anything around internet SEO, social media management, social media marketing, Facebook, Google, Amazon, anything that gives you an ability to operate in a digital online space would be very good use of your time, because the world was already going this way. We're already becoming more and more online and digital. And I think with COVID-19, that will have been accelerated much faster, because now we've all been forced to close down our traditional way of working and get online. So if you were to even do one course while you're locked in, do a digital one. Sharpen up your knowledge of the digital world and of the online world. Maybe you'll find something that's real of interest to you. Maybe you'd like to know how to do Facebook advertising or social search engine optimization, or maybe you are aspiring app developer. There will be free courses out there for all of those topics. So knock yourself out. Try those websites. Let me know how you get on. If you need any suggestions on what courses you think you should be doing, please pop them in the comments below. I'm always happy to help. I think learning is a gift, and the more you can do, the better. And it definitely gives you an edge above everybody else if you keep your skills sharp. So we have one more masterclass today, and it's actually an interview that I'm really looking forward to. It's with a young gentleman from St. Lucia called Anthony Averill. Anthony self-published his own book. So any of you who maybe have a book in you and you'd like to learn how to publish it yourself, you're going to be really interested in this masterclass. Anthony is a writer, an actor, photographer. He does a whole lot of stuff. And one of the reasons or purposes of this masterclass is so that we can highlight talent in the markets that we're in, the countries we're going out to. So across the Caribbean and the Pacific, we want to highlight talent. So maybe you that are listening in right now, I see we have 9 people listening, and hi all of you. Maybe you would like to be highlighted. Maybe you would like to come on and allow me to interview you so we can share your talents and skills with the world. I'm more than happy to. We've been focusing a lot on the talent in St. Lucia. I also want to talk to talented people in all of the other islands because I know you're out there. And maybe it's not you right now, but maybe you know someone who's doing something really interesting or good or unique or you believe deserves some recognition for what they're doing, then just drop me a note. Always check the comments. I check them all the time. I'm happy to hear from you, and we want to use this platform as a way to give back to others and share all the brilliance that is going on out there that might just be hidden. So 1 o'clock St. Lucia time, we'll be back with Anthony Averill. I know you will enjoy it. He's a lovely young man and I can't wait to talk to him. In the meantime, thank you for checking in. I want to wish you a fabulous day wherever you are, and I will talk to you again at 1. Bye.